Today we'll talk about cruise control, and this will apply to the 49X, 47X, 57X, and the Freightliner Cascadia, and probably all Detroit motors. First of all, we're going to talk about cruise control being set. We cannot set it if your Jake brake switch is on. So here we are out of Rossport on Highway 17. Just went through a 70 zone and now we're coming back to 90. I've got my speed set around 98, somewhere around there. I'll press set at 97, that's where I was at. Now I'll cancel cruise control, hold it there with my foot, turn the Jake brakes on, just the switch, foot still on the throttle, and then press set. That's not working. It'll tell you to turn off Jake brakes before setting cruise control. So you can't have cruise control on or you can't set your cruise control when your Jake brake switch is on. But you can set a descending speed, and I'll show you what that is at once we're on top of this hill. A descending speed is you turn your Jake brakes on, you take your foot off the throttle so the Jake brakes are actually active, and then set your speed at what speed you want to go. Let's just say you're top of the hill, you got quite a ways down, but it's not steep enough, it's really going to push, but you need something to just hold it back a bit. That's where you want to set your speed at. So just holding it back there, we're at a 90 zone. It's a downhill with some curves that we're approaching here. I'm going to set it around 95, 97 again. And that is a descending speed set. I have a feeling 97 might be a bit fast actually. I'm going to split the gear back and set it at 92. So to descending grade, you want to turn your Jake brakes on. Jake brakes work. And I have it set at 95 actually here. So now it's switching through. I got it on the higher stage here, and it's working. And it's holding me right at 95. Jake brakes are shutting off at 94. And they're coming on at 95, and it'll go. I've got it on the stage 3, but in the descending speed cruise, you don't need to set the Jake brakes at a certain setting. It'll go through the stages, low, medium, or high, as it pleases to hold you back at that speed that you have set. But right now it continues to drop. Right now I'm going only 90, no Jake brakes on, and it'll just continue to drop. And now we're picking up speed again, and 95 it activates. Dropped it to 94, but back to 95. 94. And now it's stage off. But it'll continue to drop now. So now we're just coasting because I'm below 95 and it continue dropping down. So I'll turn my Jake brakes off. 95 is now my new cruise set. Right now I'm cruising at 95 is what it pushes me up to. If you look closely, there's a +8 behind the cruise control set at 95. What that does is I have my cruise control set at 95, so 8 kilometers above that is when the jake brakes are automatically going to come on. As long as your cruise control is set 8 kilometers past your cruise control set, the jake brakes will come on. Now this is more the idea for short hills. If you're cruising with your cruise control on and there's a hill where you're dropping, you don't need to slow down, you don't need to really be careful about anything. The engine will just hold you back 8 kilometers above speed. And that number can be changed. As we can see, it's a +8. Now from factory they all come a +8. That's where they're at. But we can change this speed by pressing this page button here, and then you can go all the way up to 24. Or all the way down to 3. At 24, that's mighty high, so 20 kilometers above your cruise control set, and 3 is pretty low. I guess from factory they all come at 8, but you can change that. You can go to your dealer and they can program it so it will go to 5 or 10, whatever you prefer within this range. That every time you turn the truck on, that's where it will be, because I can now set it at 10 drive, but the next time I turn my truck back on, it'll be back at 8. So here I'm at 90, and remember we got that +8 there. So at 98, the jake brakes come on, and it'll start holding me back. I'm still gaining speed, and now my jake brake is off. This is just automatic by cruise control, 8 kilometers past cruise control. Another thing we have is your cruise control is set, and then you can turn your jake brakes on and your truck will slow down. Meanwhile, your cruise control shows that it's set. On an automatic, it will actually downshift. Jake brakes are on, it'll downshift, and turn your jake brakes off. Your cruise control will still be set at the speed you had it set in, and it will start picking right back up to that speed. One thing to keep in mind with the automatic, if your cruise control is set and you're turning on your jake brakes, the truck will shift down sooner than if you cancel your cruise control and then turn your jake brakes on. So now I have my cruise control set at 95. Okay, we can set the cruise control when the jake brake switch is on. But I can have my cruise control set and turn my jakes on to stage, and it'll just slow me down. Now if this was an automatic, it'll actually go through the gears. It would actually downshift until you're at the bottom or idling along in second gear, and then it would just hold you there until Now I'll turn my Jake brakes off and it'll push me back to 95. Cruise control was never really cancelled. It just, the Jake brakes overrides cruise control.